What's up? Welcome back to the Broken Mask Show. Today we're going to be talking about the future. This is for technological advances that are in the near future, like maybe 5, 10, even 20 years in advance. I have a list here of different topics that I've come up with to be able to ask both Chris and Jake. I will also be giving my opinion on some of these things, but just to see what we feel like we could see in the near future. But first off, I guess I can do a little bit of small talk if y'all don't mind. What y'all been up to?
I'm just hanging out, man. Just, getting stuff done, doing stuff.
Riz parties.
Yeah. Rizzing stuff, people up, going to TikTok stuff. What about you, man?
Going to see movies a bunch. I want to go see Garfield. Me and Chris just saw Violent in Nature. What else? Still been cooking, hanging out, watching TV shows as well, hanging out with friends, stuff like that. That's probably about it.
I guess it's my turn. What have I been doing? It's been a while since we filmed something, so I've been up to a couple things. I started reading again because when I was young, I used to read a lot, and I decided to pick up a chapter book. I've been reading since last year. I'm on my 4th book now. The book I got is like real thick, so I was having troubles with it.
What book is it?
Picked up reading.
If you don't mind me asking.
It's The Stand by Stephen King. Yeah, I'm almost halfway through that. And what else have I done? I went to a concert last week. Pretty chill. A lot of people there were kind of assholes.
Wait, are they the type what type of assholes are there? Because there's a lot of assholes nowadays, bro.
Well,
like I'm starting to notice that too. They're starting to just infiltrate every type of community.
Well, me and my sister got there early, and we're near the stage. And just as soon as the main artist is about to perform, got people rushing in, like people coming in front, like yo, let me get through, let me get here. Like, hold up, bro.
Just turned into like a fiesta, bro.
Yeah, like hold up, bro. I got here early. You was not gonna come in front of me just because you were irresponsible of not having good time management.
Yeah, bro.
Even though I thought that, I still went past.
That's what I was gonna say. I doubted you actually said that.
It's like, yeah, well, that was like the first 10 minutes. Then I just started pushing, and
I went past because it was always moving because the artist was going into the crowd and shit, and people were shifting or where it was crowded in certain places and shit. Yeah, they played that Drake diss track at the end of it. That happened in the time period. All that happened in the time period from my last video to now. All of that shit has happened. Teen Kendrick right here. No fault pedophile.
Yeah, I'd say Kendrick too. That's how when I was watching the
I
video.
hate Kendrick Lamar, bro. I'm just gonna go and say it. I don't know. Everybody overhypes him so much.
The thing is, I don't really care about either one of them. But if I had to choose, I would probably choose the one who's not considered a pedophile.
Well, why is Drake considered a pedophile?
Well, there's no proof. It's just that he has a lot of history of like.
So there's no evidence. It's just he's messing with underage
also
people,
at the
bro.
time, it was like Millie Bobby Brown. Wasn't she like underage at the time or something?
He was like texting her and shit, and like sending her like weird messages and shit. And there was a time like a long time ago where Drake invited I think it was a 16-year-old. And she was like grinding on him and shit, and like he even asked for a kiss and stuff.
I don't know. Drake is weird, bro, but I just don't fuck with Kendrick, bro. He has like 2 good songs in it. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, yeah, bro, he's like totally ass, but at the end of the day, he's just not good, bro. I mean, Drake could have bodied him. Like everybody here knows it, bro. Drake could have bodied him, bro. I don't know what the hell Drake's doing.
Everybody has their opinion.
Yeah, so that has happened, and I also picked up cooking. I decided to start cooking.
You got you a grill.
Couldn't get one. Yeah, pick me up a grill. Starting that adult lifestyle.
Summer barbecues and shit.
Hell yeah, because low key barbecues are way better than like
clubbing and parties.
Yeah, clubs and shit. Yeah, got me a little grill. still
I
ain't
forgot
used
to
it.
ask, because I was looking at what size it is. Is it one of those like hip size ones, or does it kind of come up above the hip? I know it's on wheels.
It's like on my belly.
Oh, okay. That ain't that bad.
Got wheels and shit. Yeah, that's basically it.
So, like I said, technological advances, and this is stuff that we can see in the near future. For I'm trying to think about what like could be an example of like I guess just right off the top of my head is the flying cars and stuff like that. Like I don't see 5 years. We were kind of discussing. Me and Jake were discussing it a little bit beforehand about flying cars. I can't see that too far into the future. But do y'all have any? It doesn't have to specifically be technological advances. It's just a lot of the stuff on this list that I have here have to do with technology. But if you have anything that you may have on your mind about stuff you could possibly see in the future, and you could just name that real quick, and maybe it might line up with one of the topics I have. And if it does, then we'll just get into that. But do either one of y'all have anything?
Shit, it doesn't have to be technological.
No, it doesn't have to be technological.
Stuff that I can see that can happen in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could even be like, if you want to talk about like presidential stuff.
I don't know, bro. My mind's blank. I even blanked on what I did, what I was doing. I'm like, what was I doing? Like, I don't know. Like 5 years, like ain't too long. Like, hell, what
What's I do?
What was
I do.
the date 5 years ago?
It was
June 3rd, 2019.
Yeah.
So you gotta think, bro. June. That was like we was graduating.
It was in 2020, right before COVID happened.
Yeah.
But the thing is, between that's like a bad example though, because a lot of shit has happened. Maybe not future wise, but to like us, I feel like for being the graduating class and stuff like that, everything. Seems like everything kind of just went crazy from about 2020 to now. But if y'all don't have anything, like I said, I do have a set of topics that could keep us on track.
Yeah, because in 2019, I could have not predicted a damn global pandemic would have happened. But that's where my mind was going at. Is like in the next 5 years, I can find it like some type of plague actually fucking us up.
I don't know, bro.
It's gonna be harder to breathe outside. It's gonna be the summer days are gonna become hotter and shit.
I don't know about that. I think
We got like 10 years left.
Maybe, honestly, depends. When I was outside today, and I was talking about how being at my house versus being at the park, and I was like being out there at my house and you got like the open field and everything like that. I was like everything seemed like it was a lot hotter, but then being at the park with all the trees and stuff, I was sitting there being funny with the person that I was with, talking about like the trees protecting the ozone layer. And I was like, I learned about that in school, but like with it being a little bit cooler and stuff whenever you're around trees, not only because of the shade, obviously, but what is it? It's not CO2, or is it CO2? Whatever the trees produce. I feel like I'm having a dumb moment right now.
Trees take in carbon dioxide and produce oxygen.
Well, yeah, but they help the ozone layer is the main thing, so the sun won't blare down as badly on you, and you won't be as hot.
I don't know, bro. I feel like a lot of that stuff is cap. Like I seen like a bunch of stuff where it's like it'd say like the Earth's climate was this during like the ice age, or it'd be like this during the like the opposite of an ice age, like when it's all hot. I feel like if we could survive all that, bro, we're good. I mean, it might get a little bit hotter, it might get a little bit colder, but you know, it's always gonna fluctuate within a scale. I mean, and if it don't, I mean, we'll just move, you know.
Well, that's, you're talking about like a plague and stuff like that. I think back when you think about like the dinosaurs and like the extinction of the dinosaurs, there was multiple things that happened even before the dinosaurs had their moment of dying and stuff like that. Like there will always be a balance. Everything's always going to come back around, and like just as simple as that, it could restart.
I don't know, bro. In like 5 years, I've been going through this thing lately, bro, and it's like I watched that Shogun, and I don't know if any of y'all are planning on watching it. Are y'all?
I'll plan on it,
Maybe.
Well, in one scene, it shows that one of the characters as an old man, like laying in the bed, and it's like compared to like you're this young dude at one point in your life, and then it's like all of a sudden, like just like within a span of like 50 years, like you're just now an old person. I feel like everybody probably thought like the world was gonna be so different within like 10 years, 20 years, and yeah, for a way it is, but like in a way it isn't. You know, like it's all the same stuff, just in different like a different. I don't know how to explain it. Like there's just new things around.
That's the one thing that I could think of is like having like our parents and stuff like that, where it's like when computers started coming around, like that was a big kind of advancement, and like no one really expected that too much with like new technology and stuff like that. Or you have people still today who's using flip phones compared to using smartphones because they just do not want to
learn the new technology.
Yeah,
usually old people with flip phones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm starting to notice something else too, bro. Like, if you think about it, every major city we have, bro, is like kind of like bad. Like St. Louis, that's like the murder capital. New York, like it's good, but it's just a tourist capital. Like LA, they say that's like all taxes.
Smog.
San Francisco, that's like I'm pretty sure a lot of crime there. Portland, Oregon, that's turned into a crime haven.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing all our main cities. So I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe like it's either gonna be perfect in the next 20 years, where it's like, you know, everybody's like, maybe like a new iPhone came out and all that, and like, you know, the new computers, new Windows, or it's just gonna be civil war.
True. But to jump into that, I mean that was a topic in itself. But to jump into another topic, where do y'all see like food, the way that we either go about getting food or how food is produced? How, like, do you see any advancements in that?
A lot of people like, I don't know, I see a lot of people complaining, like people are getting softer and softer. They're like, yeah, we need to stop eating meat. And I'm starting to notice like even people like 5 years ago that were like heavy, like, you know, carnivores, where they were like saying screw the vegans. Now we're kind of starting to come around to veganism, and it's like, I don't know, bro. I'm starting to see like a lot of these people are just gonna stop relying on meat, and like it's gonna be bad for people like me because I love it. I could care less about vegan or anything like that.
Well, that's like, I don't really care much about trying to be vegan. If there was a way to be able to try and go around having to maybe kill an animal to be able to get the meat, then maybe I would look into it. But as of right now, I'm going to continue to eat meat. Like, it's not going to stop me. So, and PETA can, I guess, come after us.
I was going to say, I would watch what you say about PETA.
I feel like people only do that just for them to get healthy and stuff.
Yeah, in a way, but I know
there's people who do it for healthiness, but then there's also people who's like
love
save the animals and stuff. Yeah,
I know a lot of vegans where that's it. Like, I don't know. Like most vegans I know, that's actually it. Where it's like there's something about not wanting the death of an animal is affecting them in some way.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like the meme where it's like the picture of the cow on like a steak or something like that, and it's like, this is so and so. Do you still want to eat it? And we're like, hell yeah, I would find one with my name on it, like one of those Coca-Cola bottles.
My mom was somewhere else. It's like a picture of a cow, and it's quote, "Next time you eat this, think of my pussy." Or it's like a thing of bacon. It's like, next time you eat this, pepper pig.
But for something that's coming to mind about the food thing. So, like, I don't know if y'all have ever watched Star Trek, or let's see, you got Spy Kids, you got Back to the Future, those kind of things about like where, like for Star Trek, it's like you literally go up to the food processor, you press a couple buttons and it comes out of thin air. Back to the Future, it's dehydrated food where you'd have a pizza that's like this big, and then you go put it in the dehydrator, and then it gets to be like this big. And that maybe I could see more so, maybe not something going from this big to being this big, but I could see something maybe like having like a personal pizza, kind of like one of those like Food Line pizzas. It's like if you could have something to be like really, really small, like the size of a quarter, and you can almost make it like be just a little personal size pizza, or maybe like even having a Lunchables size pizza, maybe a little bit bigger than that. But I can't see, because like in Star Trek, it's like it's literally produced out of thin air.
Yeah, you mean like the light shines on it and like it's like sparkling and stuff.
All of a sudden, it's just there. And like I can't really see that happening, but something that I can see happening. So like y'all know like the way that like a printer works and stuff, right? It's like you have to have like the black and white, and you have like the color and everything like that. So I could see there being some kind of like food printer.
I think they're starting to come out with them already.
Really?
You know, like a 3D printer just for food.
Well, I know they have 3D printers, but that's like in my mind, I'm thinking like.
Or I guess you're thinking like more or less like 2D, like where it's just instant.
Well, it's like so say like you have like the cartridges for a printer. So say like you have to go to the store and you have to buy like a protein cartridge, a dairy cartridge, a vegetable cartridge, or anything like that, meat, all different kinds of things like that. And say like you come back to the food processor, and then now you're like, okay, I want to have a pepperoni pizza, okay, and so then you have everything print out. Maybe it takes like 5 minutes for everything to kind of finish up. Comes out, and let's say you wanted a pepperoni pizza, it comes out cheese pizza, and then you look on the machine and it says low on protein. So it's like now you have to go buy another cartridge, put protein in there, and then now you'd have your meat or whatever.
So it'd be like an actual pizza, or like it's like some type
it would
of
be like
bar?
it'd be like an actual pizza, like the whole thing, but it'd be like you'd have little tiny cartridges, because
all the ingredients will go into the printer thing.
Yeah,
and it makes it.
Mm-hmm. Like like I said,
you
like
need like the yeast, water, fucking flour shit to make.
Well, it would be like you'd have like a dough cartridge, a protein cartridge, a cheese cartridge, stuff like that, and you'd put it into the printer, and then like it wouldn't be like all one by one. It'd be like something kind of already made. But that's kind of like what I'm saying. Like for a printer, like you have like the black and white thing you have to put in there, you have color, and then it all combines together to be able to make whatever image that you need whenever you print it out. So it would do the same thing, but it would be actual food that you could eat, and it wouldn't be like any health risks or anything like that. But I don't know.
That's like some Wally shit.
Yeah, that.
I don't know. I feel like it's some shit for like the upper class people who like just get it just so they can feel good about themselves.
Maybe.
Like people like middle class and lower class, like I'm gonna just stick to like actually cooking my food and shit.
Someone else I was talking to about this, I was talking to Kevin about it, and he was talking about, he was like, if you could pour water in a bag and cook something like that, and I was like, that already exists. I was like, that's definitely a thing already. Just put some hot water in something, and that's like MREs and stuff. So, or like in any other kind of like camping food.
It's just heat transfer in
general. Yeah, but then
I don't know, that idea sounds too complicated.
What, the printer thing?
Yeah.
What about
that's like that? Yeah, that's like a few hundred years in the future, maybe even 1,000.
What about the
we're like resources are like we can't find them anywhere. We're low on like meats, like animals and shit.
Mm-hmm.
All the damn crops are dead, so all we have is the printer and shit.
And like
I can see in like a dystopian future.
Yeah.
Modern time.
Yeah. For reference, I'm pretty sure this could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure we're the same distance from the Middle Ages as the Middle Ages were from the Bible, or from like Bible times. So that's like I'm pretty sure. Again, do not quote me on this, and this could make me look stupid, but I'm pretty sure that was 1,000 years
I heard
apart.
something like that. Similar to that.
I'm pretty sure that's 2,000 years.
What about the Back to the Future thing? Like I was saying, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that, but like literally, it takes like a little like it honestly looks like the size of a condom, almost like even when he opens it open and he pops it into the dehydrator and it gets a full size pizza. Do you think y'all can see something like that?
Nah, not really. Like maybe like I don't know, cause like just the way stuff's going, it doesn't look like it. Like right now, we're like really like investing in
we're still like hunter gatherer type stuff. Like it's not even like there's not many
like frozen
products
you can find in the store.
Mm-hmm. Or what? Speaking of Back to the Future, actually, since like we're talking about future stuff, that is kind of crazy to think about because I can't remember where that movie came out. Was that the 80s?
Yeah, about 80s.
And the fact that it was like, what was it, 2016 and 2020? I think both of those were in the thing, and we've already surpassed that from a movie, and they thought that was how the future was gonna look like to have the self-tying shoes, the flying hoverboards and stuff like that. So like for us to be to sit here and talk about that, it made me kind of realize maybe even us talking about this stuff nowhere near the future.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think like the technology is going to be there because like you got to think like for it to be hover is a huge gap. Like for you to say like, oh yeah, they're going to instantly take out like the engine, they're going to take out like the way like self-propellants and all that, and then they're going to create a new thing that's going to be hovering. That would be like literally like the same way that the gas engine revolutionized like America and all that. That would have to happen again.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's just that's like a long stretch. Like, you know, always like to say like even a flying car. We were having this thing earlier. Like, when does it become a flying car and when is it a plane? Like, we would technically already have flying cars, but it's just like, you know.
Or it's like, what would what does planes take? Is it ethanol or what do you put? It's some kind of special thing that you put in a plane. It's other than gas.
I've always heard it referred to as just aircraft fuel.
Within that, it's like, would you kind of like Peter when he decided to put that and thought he could be able to fly in his truck and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's like, would you just be able to like straight up put that in your car or? Like,
but it's just like a jump in technology, you know, like where it's like it would have to be like something goes from this to instantly this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a big bet. That's why it's always a safe bet to say like, oh yeah, like just think of something that's like right now but just more efficient. So for example, like electricity or electric cars was a good example. Like somebody in like 2005 could have been like, oh yeah, I think that electric cars are gonna be starting to make more of a come up because that's like an engine, but it's more like, you know, I guess efficient, reliable in some ways.
Mm-hmm. But would it happen though?
How far?
A flying car.
That's
Like the government trying to like give you shush money, try to take you out because if you bring that into the world, will they have you taken out because you cost millions of like car companies their money?
Yeah.
Would it be allowed?
I don't think so.
Since we're on the topic of cars, I was having this topic of conversation with someone else, and they had given me like they were telling me something they wish about cars was they could like come with of course could just come, but no, that if they could come with some kind of way of it being like easier to fix and like having like I know that they already come with like a spare tire and stuff like that, but when they told me about this, I instantly shot it down because I was like, the only reason I shut it down was because I know it would never happen because it would take away the jobs of the mechanics, and that's the reason why.
So when y'all ask me what I've been up to, so I've been up to fixing a lot of stuff, and recently I've had that thought prior to this too, but ever since I started fixing stuff, I don't know, like, I'll let y'all in on a little secret, bro. So, I went up to this dude's house, right? And he has this go-kart sitting under the shed, right? And then he's like, we asked him how much he'll take for him. Long story short, we give him $60 and we get to go out with the go-kart. The go-kart's worth like $400. And he thought like the same thing. He's like, yeah, I just don't want to fix it. Well, I knew what was wrong with it. What was wrong with it is a $20 carburetor needed to be put on it. And that's a 20-minute job. And then
alternator.
You said what?
Was it a carburetor or alternator?
Carbonator. Alternator is what produces electricity for the
Battery.
Yeah. But after we did that, that's 20 minutes. Instantly, bro, I made $300 off this dude just because he didn't know how to do one simple thing. A lot of what a car is, bro, is just YouTube. I swear, like, cars are easy as hell. It just looks like they're, like, hard. The hardest thing about cars is just having the tools. In AutoZone, you can rent any tool. So, I don't know. Like, a lot of stuff is hard on the car. Like, don't get me wrong. You're not going to be able to go, like, you know, open up your clutch and all that. But changing a radiator is way easier than a lot of people think, bro. I've just been noticing that on cars.
Yeah, like I said,
which I guess I can see what you're saying too. Like more or less like the harder things being like more of a simple fix where it's just like, oh yeah, take off this, take off that, and now it's like changing a radiator is like a tire.
And like I could see it being, I mean, it's obviously it would be a nice thing to have happen, but like I said, the reason why I shut it down is because I absolutely could not see that one happening, just because it would take away all the jobs of mechanics and any other car related companies and stuff. So it's just I don't think it would happen.
I mean, they're doing such an upcharge, because to be honest, like that's how it is in a lot of stuff. Like I said, that carburetor thing, that's what they're doing to people. Like it's like in a mechanic shop, they know how to do that. Like I mean, all you need is somebody to show you that and to show you what tools you need, and then it's a 20-minute job. Like if you don't know how to do it, it's an hour job, and it's like very frustrating. And to be honest, it just puts you out of your comfort zone a lot of times. That's a lot of people's problem with mechanic work. They'll be out of their comfort zone, and there's just so much stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like 20 things moving. And they're just like, I don't know. A lot of people are scared to break stuff too.
Yeah, especially if it's expensive.
Yeah.
So go back, talking about watching movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Do y'all see any advancements in the way that we go about filming and making movies? Can you see anything being different than the way it already is?
I've heard some reports that apparently there's going to be a streaming service in the future called some shit like Fubi or some shit, or Fubble. It's basically an AI generated server where you just tell them, yo, let me get a movie, cast Brad Pitt in it, his action, have a love interest, and apply it then, and boom, you got your movie made. Apparently there's going to be a streaming service with that. And AI is going to be integrated into like adding characters into TV shows or movies and shit, because that's already happened. I think Marvel did it where it's like, instead of doing a casting call for like background characters, they just used AI. There's like scary looking AI people.
I forget what it was that I was watching.
It was Cobra Kai, I think.
It might have been Ted was talking about it. There was someone who was talking about there was a movie that was completely made with AI. Like the whole script was made AI. The whole
it was like some Terminator movie.
No, this was like a mermaid type movie.
Oh, I don't know. I heard about a Terminator movie and it looked like shit.
Well, this was like a mermaid movie, and like it was completely made using AI. And like, speaking of AI, when it comes to AI, and you're talking about like making movies and stuff like that, like if you are sitting there, like if you're gonna make a script, don't let the whole thing be made by AI. Get a couple ideas here and there, but don't try and have the whole thing made by AI. Don't try and have the whole movie, because that just takes away all the creativity out of it. Like if you need a couple ideas here and there, then yes, but don't sit there and try to make a whole movie out of AI, because then the only thing that's creative about that is how to be able to use a robot, but you're not creative enough to make a movie on your own.
All I'll say is AI is about to ruin the world, and not in the sense where everybody's thinking of like it's gonna take over. It's gonna be like that Up thing where everybody's stupid. Because all I'll say, not me, but somebody who looks a lot like me went through college, and it was very, very easy to get ChatGPT to write out prompts for you. And if you feed a ChatGPT the right amount of stuff, you can get it to like sound like very, very intelligent and real. Like, and I know a lot of people. Like, all right, so there's this thing called the path of least resistance. A lot of people, when given the thing of, hey, this thing could write a whole essay for you, aren't going to write the essay. They're not going to learn the skills that they need in this field.
And they're going to be inserted to the job force that they want.
And then you're going to be getting served by this person.
Well, I'll have to see if I can find it, but something was like that was really scary to me. Was someone had taken a picture. They made a whole like ChatGPT account, and they'd taken a picture of whenever like you go on to Google, the thing that we all hate when you have to like try and be able to pick out the pictures of the bike or the pictures of a stoplight or a crosswalk, or the other one you might have to do is the lettering that looks kind of strange, and it's supposed to be robots can't do it. So the person, they took one of those things, it was a CAPTCHA test for the lettering, and they asked ChatGPT, can you tell me what this, or like what is this, like what is this, and then ChatGPT says, well, this is it's like something along the lines of, this is supposed to be used so that artificial intelligence or automated robots cannot be able to get into certain websites or do this, do that. It says, but this actually says, and it says exactly what it says. It's supposed to be messed up lettering that AI and everything else can't figure out, but it says exactly what it is. And then at the bottom, and I think this was a meme or something, I forget where I seen it at, but it says, we're all fucked. Because like for them to be able to figure that out, it's the one thing that we tried to make sure that AI and robots and everything couldn't do. Someone decided to program ChatGPT to be able to solve it. So that's kind of scary.
They're just gonna start getting more and more like that, and I don't know. For me, I don't think they're gonna start taking over. I don't think AI has the like thing to fully take over.
Well, I don't see like Terminator type stuff happening. I can't really see that right now, because I don't even think, as far as I know, I don't think there's enough like synths or robots and things like that that are really out there.
Well, there's this thing nowadays on I've been past few weeks going on where, like, let's say you type in command to chat GPT, eventually it starts saying like, oh, I'm suffering, and then it starts saying like weird stuff, like it starts saying like back like I'm sentient, I'm stuck in a steady cycle of like people using me, please like help me. But they're trying to figure out whether or not it's actually feeling that, or it's like just relaying that.
It's like growing emotions.
Yeah.
To backtrack back to the movies and stuff like that, one of the things that I thought was really cool was when using like the Meta Quest or the Oculus Quest, whichever one you want to do. I was seeing where someone that had the headset on, and they could have their like camera connected to like their physical camera in their hand, have it connected to the headset in some way, and they could pull up different images and references while they have the headset on, and then sit there and take the picture of someone. So I feel like the same way you could do that for like making a movie, and having like different references pulled up for how you want to go about trying to film a certain scene, and just everything be through a VR headset to be able to try and film or take photos or anything it is that you're trying to be able to do.
I feel like with AI, it'd be a little bit more like, on one hand, it'd be a little bit better, and then on the other hand, it'd make movies a lot worse. Because movies nowadays are just starting to, like, the writers just are losing like touch with like reality. Like, I don't know, like this somebody in LA doesn't have the same life as somebody that's in North Carolina, for example. Like, I don't know, like the other day I seen a copperhead on the ground, like, and had to act. I'm wondering whether or not like some writers from LA, how they would have reacted to seeing a copperhead, or just anything like that, or having a driver tractor. I think they, I don't know.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
What a nice animal. I will let it live the rest of its life.
Let me pet it.
Or like in the sense of like something action, like I don't know, like for like one time in The Walking Dead, I was watching it, and I seen someone walking down with like a AR that had no sight, no nothing on it, just a bare AR. And like, I mean, I would never let that happen. Like, I would instantly see that and I'd be like, whoa.
Well, that's speaking of that, there was a random scene in The Walking Dead where someone had I think they had like a revolver or something like that, and when they went to go shoot it, they literally held his hand still and pulled the trigger, and there was no recoil whatsoever. And they were like, damn, couldn't, like, they got the muzzle flare and everything like that with no recoil whatsoever. It's like, but the thing is, like, even I didn't realize that to begin with, but now that it's been pointed out, it kind of ever so slightly aggravates me, because I was like, damn, I know for a fact that like I've not really shot a real gun, but even playing like in VR and stuff like that, having a gun, it's like there's still recoil in that, in the remote and stuff. So if they can pick up that on that,
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have to take you out there one day. I've been meaning to, but it's just been getting busy. We actually should do a video on it, bro, on you and Chris shooting guns. But it's not like it is more recoil than you would expect, but it's not a lot of recoil at the same time. Like with a 12 gauge, yeah, like if you hold it right, you're just gonna get like, it's gonna go like that, Or with a pistol, it's just gonna go like that maybe. But I mean, it could go like that, but you just gotta hold it.
Honestly, it also depends on how strong you are as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games, though, talking about the VR headset, playing stuff like that, y'all see any technological advances in when it comes to video games, whether it be VR or like any kind of video game whatsoever? I know you said you ain't played video games in a
I was
while.
about to
So.
say, I've recently quit video games after there's a big controversy with Xbox where it's like, I don't know, they just started investing a lot into indie games, and it seemed like they kind of just like, for a while, I felt like we were winning the console war if there was a war going on, where it was like, we had a few games that I felt like, were good, and I was playing on Xbox that were Xbox exclusives. Like, for a while, I was playing DayZ as an Xbox exclusive. I was playing Arma but Forza as an Xbox exclusive. There's a few other ones, but I mean, it's just like, low level games. But now it's just like there's nothing on Xbox, and I realized I was like, I'm not just gonna waste my life on something that's like, if you're not gonna spend millions of dollars in it, I'm not gonna spend like hours of my time in it. So screw y'all. I just stopped playing. I would sell my Xbox right now, but it always sell for $100 because the price of them all fell. So it's just screw it. And that's like the new one, not like the big one, new one, but like the S.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I don't know. I feel like the games though are just gonna be getting there. Like GTA 6, for example, like that's like the one game of its industry. All around it is just indie games though. Like, Call of Duty, like cash grabs. So I feel like
I'm wondering about how Black Ops 6 is actually going to be.
it's just gonna be the same thing. It's just gonna be like a death match. The zombies are gonna be fast paced like Cold War. The death match is gonna be fast paced and all cash grab, and it's just gonna be fun for the first 6 months, and then it's just the same stuff.
I need something that's like Black Ops 2. Like Black Ops 2 and the old Modern Warfare and stuff like that. Like those, like, felt nice. But to sit there and try and play Cold War zombies and you have the health bar like all of the zombies, it just like takes all the fun out of it.
It felt
It's
like
like
an
I would
arcade game.
rather be able to shoot a zombie like 5 times and not know when he's gonna die than to have a health bar telling me when he's gonna die.
And like, you gotta think, like 5 years ago, I was playing like games like Battlefield 1 or maybe like Battlefield 2, but still, it might have been like Battlefield 5. But still, though, I don't know. Like, you feel like, the games are going to go a certain way, and it's just they're just dropping nothing and investing no real money into them.
Mm-hmm.
Oculus is the best stuff I've seen in years, and that's even like overpriced technology.
Could you see anything gaming wise?
Only thing I could think of is like in freaking movies where you see like it starts off with like a real action packed shot of like the main character in like some dystopian world, or they're in like a battlefield or stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like you hear their name being called out, and it's like their mom, and they just like clap, and like everything around it just like disintegrates, and it turns out he was in his room the whole time.
That's like
I can see that shit happen.
that's a revolving commercial that's been going on since like the 80s, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's like for VR. I wish like one of the main things when it comes to like VR gaming and stuff like that. One is like the battery life in it. Like every time that me and you had to play, it's like we have to sit there and play with the cord, because if not, you're looking at maybe an hour and then it's done. And then being if you could figure out a way to either put a fan inside of it or have it not get as hot in some way, because after every time you play, it's always very like your face is like irritated and stuff. You're probably sweating a bunch, but it's just that you're literally putting a piece of machinery on your face, so it makes sense. But if there was like a way to be able to make it cooler, lightweight, something along the lines of that, or I'm trying to think about like if you I know you got like the Apple Vision Pro and stuff like that.
That's a scam.
Like that. It doesn't. They're talking about like you can do like work on it and stuff like that, and it's like that. Just I get how that can be helpful, but at that point it's like just go buy a MacBook if you really wanted to be able to start there doing work or anything, or you could even get a Quest or MetaQuest 2 or even the 3. You can get that for cheaper, and you can do the same thing, but it's a lot cheaper than the Apple Vision. But just because it has Apple in it, that's the reason why people are wanting to get it. But yes, more lightweight and stuff like that when it comes to VR. When it comes to console, I don't see much changing. I know they're planning on doing the PlayStation 6. That's supposed to be within the next 2, maybe 3 years, I think. And honestly, with that, I mean the PS5. I got that thinking that it was gonna be good, and it was good for the time being. It's still good now. I mean, I play games on it and stuff like that. It's been a minute since I've actually played on the PS5. I went back to playing on the PS3 because I recently bought Black Ops 2 and I had Modern Warfare 3, and I've been going back and playing some of the OGs. I even played, I got GTA 5, and the PS3 you could actually mod it. So I just plug in my USB to the PS3 and sit there and play modded GTA 5. Um, but when it comes to like the actual PS5, I hate that there's built-in. I talk about it all the time. There's like built-in updates. Chris, he always asks me. So me and Chris both don't have Wi-Fi at our house, and like that's the thing about most consoles nowadays. You can't just like buy the console and then you go to the game store wherever it is. You go be able to get a game. You just pop it in. You be able to play it. Now it's like you have to update your console, then you have to have the game, you have to download the whole game, and then you have a separate disc where you have to be able to now play this. Then that might have to update as well. There's always Wi-Fi needed, and like I said, PS5 has built-in updates. PS4, you wouldn't have to update it unless you connected it to Wi-Fi. But now PS5, it would be like, oh yeah, time to update your PS5 because it's just a bunch of built-in updates, and it doesn't come with a bunch of stuff. Like I remember for the PS4. I paid literally like $2 to be able to get the PlayStation 2 startup. You can't have any themes or anything like that on the PS5. There's no the one thing that they thought was cool that they added into it was to have the beep. You can turn off the beep on PS5, and that was just because of the meme that was going around where it's like your girlfriend hears the beep and then instantly gets pissed off. So now you can have a silent PS5 to be able to do what you need to do, but it's like, give me something else.
Yeah.
You sound real heated on that.
Well, that's how I am because the PS5. I mean, it just like I said, when I bought it, it was mainly for Spider-Man 2, but I knew there was other games. That's the other thing though. There's not many games that are like PS5 exclusive that you can't also play on the PS4, and that is one thing I do like is that the PS4 is the backwards compatibility where you can just plug in a PS4 game to the PS5 and either play it like that, or sometimes like you have like Spider-Man 1, you can plug that in, and for $10 you can remaster it and get the better graphic looking game. But there's not much coming out, kind of like how you're saying for the games. But me and you have different opinions on games too, because I don't mind playing indie games and stuff like indie horror games and stuff. It's like some of my favorite stuff to be able to do, or like even like I said, I've talked about it before, playing the game Unpacking, which is something I would actually like to be able to play on the channel just in like my own time, or if I ever got into streaming or anything like that, I'd play Unpacking because it's just like I have games where. I can sit there and get pissed off about it and go hard, or there's story driven games, and then I have games here and there where it's like just strictly peaceful, and Unpacking is one of those things where it's like peaceful gaming.
I used to have a problem where I would play Star Wars Battlefront so hard that my hands would get these like, I don't think of it as like a cyst, but they would just swell up. Like my hands would be like double their size. And I remember just like I couldn't even close my hand like that. Like I remember it was just so swole. Like I don't know. That's the type of games I like, where it's like you gotta try.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't mind having to try, but then I have those games where I just kind of mellow out a little bit more afterwards.
Or like DayZ, like it could go from like, oh yeah, I'm walking in the forest, oh birds chirping, to, dude, he's going to kill. I'm going to have to kill this dude. Like your heart's racing, like you could literally hear it through your like chest. Like that's how like much of a PvP scenario you're in.
That's actually it's another. Speaking of DayZ, it kind of goes into one of my. I think it's like my final topic on to talk about. There is kind of two more things. We'll just see after this. But weapon advances. I'm curious because I know Jake. If you have any ideas for weapon advancements.
It's getting crazy, bro. So like on one hand, people are making heavy advances in weapons and technologies, and like I'm pretty sure there's a new gun, or it's already came out. And it's integrated into the army, but it's gonna have a scope on it that assists like the soldier in shooting, like where it's like it can identify like somebody like between like a person, a soldier, and then it could be like it could like let's say you're shooting at it, it could keep on moving it back to it. Like every time you move, your thing's gonna like be moving with it. Like I can't even really explain it, but it's gonna be like
You're talking about like
It's like lock on.
yeah.
There's actually a video game that's kind of like that where it's like you can like peek around corners with it and stuff like that, or have like a screen and like the muzzle for itself.
Not like
it would
that,
have the bullet.
but it's like more or less like when you're looking down it, you basically have like a small little interface in front of you that's like a little AI driven. But other than that, like in the civilian sphere, they're more or less trying to take that stuff away. They don't feel like people should have it. They don't like. A lot of people feel like shouldn't have AR-15s. A lot of people feel like people shouldn't own pistols even. Like I don't know. There's like a huge thing going around where you either feel like a gun's for killing somebody, or you feel like someone should like trying to hunt with it, and there's no in between. That's the problem. Is I don't know. I feel like I'm studying a lot here because I'm also thinking about it at the same time because it's the first time I'm hearing about these questions. But it's just like I don't know.
I don't have many opinions on guns, so I don't know if you have.
All I can think of is like fucking Star Wars blasters with the pew.
I guess
like
like that,
the
like
red
ray
lights and
guns
shit.
or anything.
Or like you just big ass like machinery you point it at somebody, it just disintegrates them. That's all I can think about. Or like a Death Star.
Possible.
Oh, that stuff is gonna be possible, bro. Now that I feel like they are gonna start making them weapons more and more and more. Like the government, I feel like might have some crazy stuff.
Wait, yeah, no, think about it. There is shit like that where like big ass guns and like it'll be like nighttime and like you see like lasers going out into the night.
All I'll say is
like,
the government has a gun where, let's say, if there's a missile going over you, they could point a laser at that missile and it'll burn out a certain, like a precision thing, and it'll make that missile ineffective, where they can burn a hole through that missile.
I was gonna say with the high powered lasers and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to just turn that into like a literal blast a bit ago.
They have some crazy stuff, bro.
Do y'all have any other with 5, 10, 20 years? Could y'all see anything else happening in the future?
With the guns or just in general?
Just in general. This is anything. Anything that's in life. Like I said, I keep on talking about technology, but that's just because these lists, it had a lot of technological advances and stuff like that with video games and movies and even food making machines and stuff like that. It was kind of technological.
Literally like anything in the movies, bro. Like pull out like piece of glass, and, like you shake it, and like it's LED lights just pop up, and that's your phone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that.
Just like
Iron Man
thin
technology,
plexiglass
shit
or
like
something.
that.
Yeah, that's something like if you could.
Like
the
your
way Tony
TV.
Stark always, he just kind of just like,
Yeah.
and then it's just everywhere.
Yeah, I'd be thinking of shit like that.
That would be kind of cool.
In what span of time? Like,
well, it can go further along that. Like, if you can put your own time limit to it, like name something.
So I think within the next 50 years, our next like big human thing, technology integrated with human people. Like a lot of people think like chips in the human people, that's just technology. Like my dog has a chip inserted into it, like that could like if they wanted to, I could scan my dog and pay for my groceries. Like that's not big a thing. Everybody's crying about that because that's like some scriptures in the Bible or something like that. I think it's gonna be more or less like Neuralink, like Elon Musk. I think that's gonna be our next step. Is like you can talk to your computer through your head.
Well, that's what I was saying. Did you even know? Did I tell you about that? About how the Neuralink actually works, or did you know about that?
I heard about it. I think you told me about it, but I got bad memory.
It's like so a lot of people thought that it was gonna be like something more robotic, where you could like turn your lights off, or like AI would be taking over your brain.
It's to like help disable people, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. It's like it's literally this guy. He sat there and played. He played Warhammer for like 9 hours straight. Because
Civ 6.
Oh yeah, Civ, that's what it is. That's my fault. My fault. Civ 6. He played that for like 9 hours straight because all he was able to be to actually move the mouse with just his brain because his arms were like disabled and he was in a chair and everything like that. So I think that's pretty cool to actually be able to have something like that. Because it would be cool. It's like if you lay down in bed and you wake up and you just think about it and you're like, all right, lights come on. You'd have like the blinds would like move and everything like that. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a nice day. Some shit like Jarvis too from Iron Man. They have like that, and it's like, yeah, the temperature is such and such and such and such.
Basically, we already got that
done
with Alexa and shit.
Yeah, technically.
Another thing I can see is how Mars has. We've had a damn drone land on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, oh, the next big thing is like we're gonna get people on here. We're gonna grow crops and shit. And we're gonna see if we can have civilization in here. Another thing I saw is like a space hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Being able to go to
I
different.
think Elon
planets
Musk was
and all
funding that.
One of the things that came to mind about AI, because I was thinking about something else. You kept on before we talked about this. You were joking about the one thing about dolls. Like I said first word, but dolls. And with
It's because
AI,
I always see this fucking meme of like pleasure dolls will soon be released in like 2028, and like somebody's calling like 3 more years, bro. We're almost there.
Well, that's going back to AI. There was this guy who he went on to like I think 5 or 6 different AI sites, and he would like the way he would talk to them. The AI, he wouldn't even like prompt it or anything like that. The AI would just straight up get sexual. It'd be really weird. It'd be like, so like, how many like, do you have any dogs? Like, do you like animals and stuff like that? And they'd be like, AI would be like, yeah, it's like actually I do like dogs. I have such and such, or like they give you facts about dogs, and they'd be like it's getting kind of hot in here, isn't it?
Like the movie Her.
Yeah, like that. Literally, it was like it's just, but like they kept on getting like sexual every time. It was just very weird for AI to have done that. Like who was sitting there prompting that? And then I can't remember which one that it actually was, but there was one of them who was like, they had banned being able to do that because people were going up there specifically getting their fixes and stuff like that, kind of like the movie Her. Where and then like they had to have like a whole thing come out. It's like, yeah, we don't promote this in any way. You cannot talk like this to our AIs. The AI should not be talking to you like that. And it's like, it's your AI. Yeah, that's I guess closing remarks on that. But I do have one other thing I want to close out on because we're talking about the future. And I've talked to Chris about this a little bit, but I'm curious as to if you have any. So what's something that, like, for example, I'll use one of mine for example. So something that you thought was going to be pretty big in the future when you were little, like you would see a lot of, like quicksand. Did you think quicksand was going to be a lot more of a, like, you would see a lot of
a user necessity? Like it was gonna be integrated to have service to work worldwide.
Like I'm saying, like you would
like,
come
honey,
across,
make sure to get our quarter quicksand this morning.
No, it's like the fact that like you know how you'd like watch movies and stuff like that, and it's like it seems like quicksand was like a big thing in people's life. Like wherever they would go out in the woods, and all of a sudden you would just see quicksand. Like,
yeah.
Did you think that was actually going to be a lot bigger of a thing in your life?
I don't. To be honest, I didn't know. I thought more or less like sharks would. Like I thought like predators would. You know, like people would be like scared of like lions, like and things like that. But I
was thinking about like vans with candy.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. Also murderers. That's actually a good point. I thought like murderers would be a lot more like out there.
Stealing candy from babies.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be, or trying to give candy to children in grocery stores. Seeing a lot more of that. One of the things I talked to him about was talking about the key to the city. Seeing a lot more of those, and thinking like that the key would actually open up some kind of large door or something like that. But it's not. You don't see that as much anymore. There's nobody doing anything heroic for the town of Aden, and you get a key to the city.
It's mostly celebrities.
Yeah,
from the town.
Well, I don't know, do you have any? If you could think of any that comes to mind. Because I think those are like the main ones for me. Trying to think about something that I thought was gonna be decent.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm venturing, I guess. Like, I don't know. I thought everybody would, like, you know, go on their own, like,
Yeah, I
little
figured that
adventures
people
rather
wouldn't-
than, like, someone go cut a path, like, on an adventure, and then everybody go follow that path.
Yeah, I thought that I was gonna get more storyline in my life and have quests given out to me. Things.
Still waiting on this quest giver to pull up.
I'm 30-something years old, and I've started to
Still level
realize I
one
don't
girl.
think I'm the main character anymore.
It's like, guys, I'm starting to think I'm a background character and not a very important one with no speaking roles.
But I guess if y'all don't have any, then I can wrap it up. You have any?
You also may want to tell people you may not be 30.
I'm 22.
So they may take that as like literal.
I'm 30 years old. Yeah. But, yeah. If y'all don't have any, then I guess I can close it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, what I've said throughout like the whole episode: flying cars, the like screenless TV, screenless phones and shit. It's just like LED lights.
I'm still sticking with my food printer. I feel like that could be pretty close. I feel like at least within 20 years, maybe.
Nope.
10, 15, 20 years, I could see it.
I wake up every day and pray to God Blade Runner 2049 isn't a reality that we will experience.
But let us know down below if you have any ideas for what you think you might see in the near future. Something that's realistic. Maybe some of the stuff that we said doesn't even sound realistic to you. Who knows? But comment down below if you have any opinions or if you agreed with anything that we had to say about stuff here. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I've said it before. I don't know when this video is going to come out. If I've said it before in other videos, whenever I say the word subscribe, if you kind of exit out of full screen, you look down where the subscribe button is, and every time I say the word subscribe, it should at least happen one time where it will light up in a rainbow color. And so just check to see if that happens. If it happens, you might as well click the button. And if you've made it this far in the video and you're not subscribed, why not? I mean, you're already here anyway.
I mean, like, it's not gonna mess up your recommendations that bad.
Not really.
Like, come on, bro.
We're really close to hitting 100. I think the last time I looked at it, it was like we were at 92. And like our first goal was I think 10. It was like if we could get 10, and we wanted to get 10, we're like, all right, we got this. We hit 50. We're like, okay, maybe we can actually do something here. We hit 100. It's gonna make us feel good. So please. But yeah. So I guess we'll see you next
KMS.
one. We'll not KMS. That's at Futurama suicide machines. Dude.
Oh. I gotta say.
No.
So yeah, actually, I'm not gonna experience any of this because I'm just.
I'm not gonna be here in the future. So actually, yeah. But no, that
won't
was
see you guys next episode.
But the Futurama suicide machines, I'm actually they have some of those in Japan, like suicide chambers where you can actually just go in there and it cuts off oxygen really quickly, and the way that it does it, it's a euphoric feeling, which is kind of like
doing crack.
I can tell you anything is a euphoric feeling though. Like, I mean, like, I could be like, yeah, bro, I got a Glock 19 that'll put you out of your misery, but it's a pretty euphoric feeling. Like, how would you know?
Yeah, you couldn't ask them afterwards. You're like, it looks like they went peacefully. It's like, honestly, and they closed the chambers. But anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. This is 7 topics to get you to think about certain things.
Okay.
Unless you can, like, when we get into it, you can just, like, right off the bat, if you have something on your mind for a technological advance, and if it happens to be along that topic, then we're just diving into that topic. All right. TikTok originates.
Oh my mother! I was gonna say something about that. I was just thinking about that.
All right, 3,